many of you know, when you come to this establishment, that there's a couple of sports teams that I still openly root for and affect my emotional level in a way that it questions my maturity.
Maturity.
I have children.
We have those same questions.
I have a lovely wife. I have responsibilities.
Couple jobs.
And so one of those teams is, in fact, the University of Michigan football team. And then there's that one game a year against the Ohio State University because, yes, we, at least as a group, are mature enough to say the name of the school we're trying to beat. And we can spell it. On occasion, we'll leave out the state and just call them Ohio. That's just a nice little needle, but that's part of a rivalry.
Yeah,
it's been going on forever, this rivalry. And sometimes you're up in the rivalry, sometimes you're down. And in the time of being down, when Urban Meyer was taking care of business against Jim Harbaugh, we were down. I mean, we were down and seemingly out and so on and so forth. But we, yada, yada, yada. The 2021 season happens. Michigan ends its 8-game losing streak to The Ohio State University. And at that time, I came on this set and I was really happy because it had been the first time in a long time and the worm had finally turned. Michigan made the college football playoffs, got curb stomped by Georgia. That said, it was in the mind's eye of the Buckeye faithful. Just a one and done. That's cute. Can't win them all. That's cute. That's what I heard. Even though that entire time of the 8-year losing streak, it's like, you know what? It's not really a rivalry anymore. And boy, I remember when Michigan used to, have a team that could beat us. And we really want that rivalry back. So good luck to you. Right? It's just going to be one and done. And then the next year happened in the horseshoe. And it wasn't Hassan Haskins consistently hitting his head on the goalpost by running through the Ohio State defense this time around. No, J.J. McCarthy was slinging it, and Michigan put up a 40-burger again, 45. Started a win streak. Made the college football playoffs again, lost in the first round again to TCU, and Ohio State made it as well. And almost made it, but they missed a field goal to Georgia, you know. But it's just 2 years in a row. Next time around, best of luck, Michigan. We're going to come to your house and end this thing because we need to restore the order that we all know. And again, this is the way the Buckeye fans talk. And I hear it chirping all the time. And then the third game hits. And Michigan wins that one, too. And then wait for it. We were supposed to be cheating. Even though the guy who was doing the cheating had been ripped out root and branch. Again, 1 year it's snowing. Yeah, the next year we had this problem. The sun was in our eyes. Oh, and this year you were cheating, even though the guy who was doing the cheating was ripped out. And even if we were still having that system on you to lose. That's when it began to become Ryan Day's fault. Big time. It's got to be that guy who's not from the state of Ohio. Oh, no, he's not like Urban. Didn't grow up wanting to be that guy. Last time we had a guy like that. It wasn't Tressel. Tressel was that guy. And then he got burned and he got kicked out. We had Urban and he got the headaches. And then he coached Jacksonville and got the lap dances and stuff. No. John Cooper wasn't one of our guys either. It's Ryan Day's fault. So what did he do? They got Chip Kelly. He's like, you know what? This NIL portal stuff, not for me. I want to be an X's and O's guy. I'm an X's and O's guy. And you know what they did, too? They put $12 million into the NIL and said, let's get us some kids. We're going to play for the Ohio State as Michigan sends a whole bunch of draft prospects to the NFL. because we're not losing a fourth straight time. And then Michigan, the wheels fall off this year 100%. This has been a highly disappointing season. 6-5. The quarterback situation has just been one after another, churning through it. The defense with Wink Martindale being burned on the back end quite a bit. And even though the last month had been a little better, 6-5 coming in. This is when it's got to end, right? It's got to end here. Michigan 6-5. Ohio State is going to put up 70 on us, right? Or at least that's what Bruce Feldman said when we asked Bruce, how's this going to go? Our friend said if they put up an extra touchdown on the Google me guy, referring to Indiana's head coach, he goes, they're going to try to put 70 on you.
Google me.
Yeah. Heard all that. The $12 million in the NIL. Michigan's down. It's going to be a festival. Going to be a festival to the point where the marching band had a little bit of fun at Michigan's expense a couple weeks ago. Yes, when we're all like, oh, you're making a bear because, you're making a nice little bear. Was that for the Cowbears? And then, let's put a Michigan flag out there and then a poop emoji on top of it. Let's get the Michigan flag. Hold on, wait for it. Let's get the Michigan flag out on the horseshoe field. Let's do that when you're not expecting it. And let's put a poop emoji over that. Oh, everybody's feeling it. It's going to be a festival. And then they played the game. They played the game, and Michigan starts running the ball, and the defense starts showing up, and Ohio State decides to just bow up. We're tough people here, too. If you say it hard enough, maybe it's going to happen. And for some reason, even though they have some superior wideouts, and not just over Michigan, you could make the case over the entirety of college football. Let's just run it into the teeth of Michigan's defensive strength and try and break them. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that after we come up with a seemingly back-breaking interception deep in Michigan's end. By the way, completed by one of those NIL kids, Caleb Downs, who they got from Alabama. And let's run it once. Let's not throw it to our wideouts on second down. And then let's run it on 3rd and 10. I'm looking at my buddy Jimmy, who's sitting in the backyard with me, saying, did they really just run it on 3rd and 10? Like, put a Mason blue ribbon on that box and put it under the tree. Way to coach it up. Oh, my God. Did they just absolutely, I'll say it here too, because I said it on the Overreaction Monday podcast, they screwed the pooch so bad the ASPCA is getting involved. And the quarterback, Will Howard, they got him from Kansas State in the portal. He had a very nice season, and he's still got games to play, which I know is going to be the retort of many. But didn't get it done. The game plan from Ohio State's point of view, and I must concur, +1, offensively, stunk. And they even, due to circumstances at the end of the first half of that game, needing to score touchdown fast because the clock was going, they marched right down the field, knife through hot butter, touchdown, tied the game. And I'm looking there the entire 90-minute, seemingly interminable long halftime. I'm thinking, oh gosh, they just saw the answers to the test, and then they didn't do it in the second half. They didn't score a point in the second half. And then Michigan overcomes the mistakes that they made, including an interception on the goal line with their quarterback, who's playing his ass off despite not having, the skill set to throw it consistently, and the skilled players supposedly to catch it consistently. He starts making plays. The kids who aren't the 5-star recruits outside are still making plays. And this kid Mullings, who can run the football, just jammed it right down their throat. Oh, my God. And Michigan won the football game. How the hell did that happen? And I thought to myself, I now have an extra year to talk. Before I start that, though, the aftermath. Planting a flag on another team's field is a provocative act. I will absolutely accede to that. Michigan did it in 2022, but there was no fisticuffs or pepper spray. That said, this is a nasty rivalry. Nobody likes each other, and there was a bunch of kids, including that terrific player, Jack Sawyer, who I think are realizing they are now going to be one of those players who didn't beat Michigan in 4 years. And the reality setting in, and all sorts of holy heck started breaking loose. And the Big Ten was right to fine everybody $100,000 and say, this can't happen. It was awful and ugly. That said, you don't want the flag planted on your turf, beat them. And also don't have your marching band poop on that flag a couple weeks ago. How do you think that landed in Ann Arbor in some of these dorm rooms? Some of these kids, 18, 19, 20 years old. How do you think that landed? Is that a provocative act? Perhaps. Perhaps. It would help to have one of the head coaches in there, too, to break it up. Michigan's was in there. Ohio State's was standing, watching Sawyer. There's a video of Sawyer melting down. I don't know who the individual is trying to calm him down because he's inconsolable, cursing at Michigan, saying they planted the friggin' flag here again. And Ryan Day is just like staring.
He's shell-shocked.
I don't know. Come on, though.
Yeah.
At this point in time, there's adults needed to be in the room. So that's my opinion of the Post. And good luck to them moving forward, because they do. They do move forward. They do move forward. But for the guy on the screen who once famously said, we're going to hang 100 on him, since that comment has only hung 84 combined points on Michigan in 4 straight losses, including the guy on the screen. It's like a Dr. Seuss football rhyme. I can do it as an interim. I can do it as a head coach. I can do it with 5 losses. I can do it with no losses. I am better than you. Who are you? Buckeye coaches and fans, adios. Waving with 5 fingers, which they might be able to do next year because, yes, Michigan is now in that NIL game. They will have, going into that game with expectations, the better, best quarterback. That's next year. And I understand that Brian Day made that 100 comment after Harbaugh, and he had at it in a conference call prior to the COVID season in which the game was canceled. Michigan had many COVID-sick players that Ohio State fans to this day allege was Michigan ducking Ohio State and Justin Fields and everybody else that was going to hang 100 on them. After this past week, not so sure Michigan would have lost that game. Oh! And then, if there couldn't have been enough of a cherry on top, when I finally was beginning to come down, I'm still way up there again.
I'm looking at you.
I finally still able to come down.
You're high as a giraffe spot right now.
I'm like, what else is going on in the world? Because the sun is blue and the sky is yellow, and with the sun and this amazing blue sky, right? And this wine's going to taste better. All the stuff I've been saying, now for 4 straight years. I look up and who's knocking out Miami? from the ACC championship game, but Chris Brockman's Syracuse Orange. Who's your quarterback, Chris, who threw for 400 yards?
Kyle McCord leads the nation in passing yards for the 9-win Orangemen. Oh, baby.
And in this game that I'm talking about right now, and we're going to talk about with Charles Woodson momentarily, wasn't he the reason why they supposedly lost and they threw him overboard because they lost the game against Michigan, even though it's a team sport? They blame it on him?
They couldn't wait to get rid of Kyle McCord. During the Hard Knocks, remember the offseason,
Yes.
Marvin Harrison went out of his way to not throw him under the bus.
That's right. And somebody gave him a little cookie, spinning curve in the zone after he beats Miami to knock Miami out of the ACC championship game and wreck that buffet. This is what McCord had to say.
Does it give you any extra satisfaction knowing that the same day you outdueled Cam Ward, beat Miami with this team, that Ohio State scored 10 points and lost to Michigan?
Everything comes full circle.
McCord's getting to talk with his chest.
It's my quarterback.
And just because I love all you people here, all my friends here, whose team's going to the Big Ten championship game now with that help? That guy. Penn State's going. TJ's happy. Are you happy, Chris?
I'm so happy.
I'm so happy.
I feel good.
Adam's
baby.
a Penn State guy, too.
Oh, okay. So Adam's Penn State guy, too. That's right. Okay. Listen, and his dad's a Michigan guy. Listen. I can't believe it happened. I still can't believe it happened.
It's crazy.
I'm so ecstatic that it happened.
Nuts.
And everybody in Columbus right now, it's just understand this. The recriminations that are going on right now is only the most delicious thing to all of us in Michigan. So please keep cannibalizing yourself. Please, please keep doing it. It's awesome. It just gives us more, I don't know what's the word for it, happiness. And you know what? The perfect photograph. I might just, I don't know, I've got to find a special place for this. In the middle of everything. 4 Michigan special teamers, including the kid with the game-winning kick. Spelled out Ohio. Right in front of all the Buckeyes.
Wow. That's kind of funny,
Oh.
actually.
That's very funny.
Very, very provocative, yet funny.
5 losses. 5. This one may be the most delicious of them all, but as you know, I love all my children just the same.
Do we need to call ahead to Canton for extra security right
you
now?
know what?
Or
I don't know.
I'm
Because-
definitely calling my boy
and the
Tidal and
greatest thing
Sina
is
Samoans
all
there
the
to
Buckeye
watch
fans,
out for.
oh, what about the 8 wins in a row? What about this? What about that? Oh, God. Okay. Fine. Great.
Rich, as an outsider, you know who I feel should be a king on campus? The kid who stole the flag back from the Ohio State.
Actually, it wasn't a kid. It was Jason Avant, former Michigan player who does some media work on the field.
Okay.
That's him. Right there on the right.
I was like, that guy should be celebrated by everybody in Michigan.
And we have
whoever
the
that
same
is.
shoes. Oh, by the way, one last thing.
I saw those on Sunday.
I don't
I
like
saw your
usually.
shoes on
I'm
Sunday.
going to go really low. Caleb Downs, you know what happened? Sorry to say. He lost to Michigan twice this year. In the Rose Bowl with Alabama and this game. That's all right. He's still around next year. You know, he's still coming out.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.